You'll be able to stuff yourself. I reckon they won't see.
I talked to that woman from the pond.
I noticed. It didn't look like she was too pleased to see you, though.
The main thing is, she denied ever being at the pond.
It's definitely her, though. You don't forget a figure like hers.
I got the feeling she didn't want to talk about it for some reason. I did get something out of her, though.
What? Don't keep me in suspense.
Von Bergov is about to leave the castle.
Sacre! If he pledges to Sigismund before we can get to him, everything's fucked.
Calm down, let me finish. There's also going to be a big wedding in the region. Young Lord Semin, a nobleman, is marrying the local bailiff's daughter. It's the talk of the region. It's invitation only, of course. But maybe we could wangle our way in somehow.
Why should some wedding in a shithole near Trotsky be of any interest to us?
Because it looks like Von Bergov will be there.
Oh, that's fantastic news, Henry. So all we have to do is get on the guest list. And that shouldn't be a problem because you've got a cunning plan, right?
I'll come up with something.
I hope so. You can't expect me to do the thinking for both of us all the time. We'll ask the locals and see.
There's something else we have to sort out first. I spoke to the innkeeper.
I noticed that too.
We can work off our debt. All we have to do is carry a few sacks of flour from that cart to the pantry. If we both do it, we'll be finished in no time.
Lug sacks? Are you yanking my noble pizzle?
I'm serious.
I can't work. I'm a noble. What if someone saw me?
Come on. Nobody will recognize you.
Maybe not now, but what about later? People will remember my face, and when everything's cleared up, word will get around that I lugged sacks here like some beggar. As if the disgrace at the gate wasn't enough. Ugh!
Look, we're not in any position to pick and choose. So if you want to somehow scrape your way out of this mess, you better forget your airs and graces and make some effort. A bit of honest work won't kill you.
Henry, haven't you ever heard of the 3 states of man?
Would that be some aristocratic excuse?
Not so fast. It's God's law. Oratoris, the priests who pray for us. Laboratoris, the plebs who shovel shit and pay taxes. And Bellatoris, the warriors who protect the ones on their knees or in the fields. Now, which am I? So if you find me a sword, I can get to work. But wield a pitchfork or carry sacks? That's against God and nature.
We don't have swords, and we don't know anyone who needs protecting. So what then?
So we're fucked until someone rolls up his sleeves and gets to work. By which I mean someone of the appropriate status, like you. In short, be so kind as to get to work. I promise I'll make it up to you.
Where's that beer?
I'm going then. But you could give me a hand. It wouldn't do you any harm.
Ah, stop whining. You can manage. Well, if it makes you feel better, I'll scratch your back later.
How? Well, giving me a large estate?
That too, of course. Maybe 2 estates. But above all, once we're out of the worst, I'll help you find your dog. As soon as we have at least some gear, we'll head into the forest and find Mutt in a trice. Although, if you think about the 3 states of man, looking for lost dogs is more like a huntsman's work. But let's pay no mind to that.
How generous of you, Lord Capon.
I know, my dear Henry, such is my nature.
Deep breath. We'll talk about it.
I'm gonna lose a whole day just for a few sacks.
Oof! That isn't half heavy. Oh.
friends.
Couple of sacks. God grant you health.
One there, please. You lend me your puller. First time to sow winter grain. I need to plow too, you know. What if you lend me the puller? No, and nor should you. Except I don't have a puller, and you won't lend me yours on any other day. It's all right.
Right.
One bit. I'll be
Listen to
happy
this.
to help you, friend.
Ei incumbit probatio.
I heard you're in need of money,
non qui
friend.
negat.
Oi, true
Is that
enough.
supposed to be
I need to
Latin?
pay the tithe
Clever
and give
you.
something to the church for my father's requiem mass.
No.
Is it a bit early
And I
for
doubt
that?
you do
It's
either.
ages till St. Wenceslas's Day, and they don't collect tithes before then.
You're right, but I promised
So you
myself
see?
I wouldn't leave
I
it till
speak
the
Latin.
last moment this year.
I just
So have you got any ideas?
Well, if I did, I wouldn't leave it till the last moment this year.
What did you say?
Say it again. It was their own fault.
What do you mean? They attacked themselves? What the fuck are you trying to say?
Everyone knows it's dangerous around Trotsky. Making camp in such an unprotected place is suicide.
Where else were they supposed to make camp, smart-ass?
Somewhere in the rocks, maybe. Not out in the open by the pond. Only a fool would do that.
But calm down, both of you.
I'm perfectly calm. It's your chum here who's ranting and raving.
Pack it in, Henry. There's no point in arguing with this yokel. He fancies himself as a military strategist.
I don't believe a word you're saying. A weed like you surviving a fight against bandits even von Berghoff himself has trouble with?
Believe what you like, but I'm telling the truth. And in fact, I'm willing to overlook all your insults if you apologize right now. And invite me to that wedding.
Oh, you want to come to the wedding, do you? Huh. I'll give you a piece of advice, pal. If you can make yourself useful for the blacksmith or the miller, you'll get to the wedding. You'll see the glorious occasion, at least from a distance. And you can stop spouting your pathetic lies.
I am Sir Hans Capon, Lord of Perkstein, and I demand your immediate apology.
I am Sir Hans Capon, Lord of Perkstein. Sir Hans Capon, Lord of Perkstein. You're starting to bore me. You and your silly made-up name.
No apology, then. It looks like I'm going to have to teach you a lesson.
Oh, I'm so scared.
Didn't you hear? Apologize to him.
Oh no! Reinforcements! I'm so scared! Take your numbskull friend and get out of our village. Right now!
I give you a chance to apologize, and you keep insulting me? Get ready to pick up your broken teeth with broken fingers.
Oh, I'd like to see that. Come on then.
You scum!
I'll get you.
Why did you do that?
We'll finish this quickly. Good strike.
Slice him up!
Take that.
I'll hack your ass. Shame on you.
You're no match for us, fucker. Cycles to Darfus.
Filthy
You
vermin.
won't be able to take another one.
You leave me no other choice.
Don't spare it with us.
Come on then.
Calm down.
try that on me.
I surrender. You've no chance against me.
Get out of it. Nice strike. Going on. Unbelievable.
Wanker! Fucking hell!
Now we'll have
I'm all yours! Hey! Get him!
Let him have it!
You shouldn't have fucked with us, you bastard.
Nice hit!
Take that fucker out, damn it! Nice hit! And us! Pantron! Enough's enough! Time to die, you bastard!
Shame on you!
Think you're a match for me, peasant.
What the hell is going on here? Grab them vagabonds!
Bastards! This will cost you dearly.
Keep your mouth shut and don't make it worse.
What?
You behave like a spoilt brat.
How dare you speak...
You know, if you just shut up and done some work, we'd have coin by now and be on our way to the castle. But no, not his lordship.
You've got a nerve. If you hadn't have played the hero, we'd have been there long since and I wouldn't have had to get you out of that mess.
Oh yeah, because this isn't a mess, is it? Fuck off.
Shut up! Or you'll get a whipping too.
Just who the hell do you think you are?
God be with you. Greetings.
I'm fed up with pulling you out of the shit all the time.
You pulled me out of the shit! And who dragged you through the woods at night, eh? Better keep your mouth shut. I shouldn't have brought you along.
Well, that's something we can agree on. I could have been sitting in the mill instead of rotting in these stocks.
And whose fault is that?
I was just defending you. Should I have let that fop beat you senseless?
I only wanted him to apologise. I'd expect my right-hand man to argue my case a bit better.
What do you think I was trying to do? Ah, what an idiot I was to stand up for you.
And what good did it do? Fuck all! If it hadn't been for me, we wouldn't have even been in that tavern. We've been in the shit right from the start because you had to play at being the knight in shining underwear, saving damsels in distress.
I don't believe it. You're trying to put the blame on me? Just like that?
Who else is to blame? You're just a simple peasant who has no idea how the world works.
Hey, let's just stop all this arguing. It'll just make things worse.
Fuck you. I've had it up to here with you. With you and your pontificating. You were supposed to make sure nothing went wrong. And how did that turn out? It was me who had to save your life. You're fucking useless. You couldn't even keep an eye on your own mutt.
That's enough. This isn't getting us anywhere. I understand you're downcast after all that happened to us. And I understand you need to take it out on someone. I can take it. But we shouldn't forget we have a job to do. And do it we must. Together.
That's exactly what I'm doubting. Everything goes to shit when you're by my side.
You don't really mean that. Calm down.
I'm perfectly calm. That's it. My life went to shit from the first moment I met you. And I've only just realised it. You're like a ball and chain. And I'd have bagged that wild boar too if it weren't for you.
Well...
And none of the rest would have happened. I wouldn't have been showered in shit.
Oh, come on, Capon.
Don't you cape on me. Not another word. I'll have to consider what to do next.
Time to go home. But I swear to Christ, if I catch you again, I'm gonna skin you both alive.
Isn't that?
Otto!
Hey! Open Bogo!
Oh, shit.
Right, where were we? Go on, get out of my sight!
What are we gonna do?
You can do as you like. You can go and carry sacks or dig latrines. I'll look after myself. I'll go and see Lord von Bergov at the wedding. I bid you farewell.
Yeah. If I were in your shoes, I'd be glad to be rid of the good for nothing, eh? Yeah. All right, off you go.
I suppose I really do need to find some job. I'll find mutt without you, you stuck-up Lord of Perkstein.
Henry?
Some clothes on you.
Scoundrel.
You're Henry, right? Or was it the other?
What do you want from me?
I don't want anything from you. I should actually be thanking you.
Uh-huh. For what?
I've been begging for alms here for days, but I didn't make any real coin till today. And that's thanks to you. The scene you made brought out nearly all of Troskowitz.
You don't have to thank me. I could have done without it. And that fracas in front of the tavern as well.
Oh well, not many people can make such a strong first impression. But look on the bright side.
Hmm?
Now things can only get better.
Yes, you're probably right. It doesn't get much worse than that. Unless somebody tries to kill me. Again.
You're still alive in one piece. It's a new day and the sun is shining. Like Tomcat always says, bruises build character.
Hey, you. What's your name, anyway? What do you do?
I'm Bara. Just Bara.
Looks like you know your way around here pretty good. You're from here, right?
I ain't. I'm just passing through.
You're something like a wanderer.
Nah, I usually find work with someone, stay for a while, and once I save a bit, I move on.
Then why are you begging here?
Sometimes I collect herbs for the apothecary, or help in the tavern. But I'd like to go somewhere else, so I'm scraping up whatever I can. But on the whole, you could say I'm a traveller, or a nomad. But don't say it too loud, the locals don't take kindly to them.
Why?
Because they're different, and it scares people. They travel from place to place and take their home with them.
I'd like to see what their homes look like.
You can go and see them, just don't stare too long.
Where are you headed? If you're only passing through here.
For work, to the city. I'm tired of serving landholders. They all promise the moon, but then you're eating stale bread, cold porridge, and a nary a groschen in sight. With the city folk, it's bound to be better.
You said you were going to a city. You mean like to Prague? Or somewhere further?
I'd like to go to Prague, but I don't know anybody there. In Kuttenberg, at least I have a cousin.
Aha. So you're going to visit her?
Well, she doesn't know it yet. But I won't be troubling her long, just until I find a way to make a living.
Why exactly are you helping me?
Why? Why? Because you look like you need it. I've been in the ship plenty of times, and I know how appreciated a helping hand is in times like that.
What do you want to do in the city?
I'll find something. I'm not afraid of work. I'm not half-witted. Maybe someone could use a cook or a servant.
Don't get your hopes up. The city can be a pretty dangerous place for a girl on her own.
You mean they don't hand out groschen by the bucketful? And the streets aren't full of roasted stuffed geese? I appreciate your concern, but I have to get to the city first. That's going to take me a long while yet.
Do you know anything more about Tomcat?
They say he's a master swordsman, but a real joker too. He loves showing off to girls.
How does he show off for the girls?
With his muscles. He breaks logs with his hands. He even let himself be run over by a loaded hay wagon. Crazy. But to be fair to him, he sometimes helps people. Stanislav's sheep fell into a pit one time.
And Tomcat pulled it out?
And, not just that, he crawled down to get it. And when he found the poor thing had a broken leg, he carried it on his back all the way home.
How's your sister? Why do you ask? I heard she was sick. I just wanted to know if she's feeling better.
It was nothing. Just a slight cold. And I would be called
Greetings,
giving
friend.
our maids
Who was you?
stronger stuff.
I'll drop by and visit her sometime then.
Feel free. You're no longer in mortal danger.
Where might I run into Tomcat?
In the camp by the tower. That is, by Rock Tower Pond. He watches the camp for the nomads.
Should I watch out for them?
No, I don't think so. They mind their own business, but strangers usually mean trouble for them, so they're careful. Try not to stare too hard and hold your tongue, otherwise Tomcat will show you some of his other skills.
Do you think Tomcat might teach me a few of his tricks?
No offence, but compared to him, you're a bit of a lightweight.
I don't want to pull wagons, but if he can handle a weapon, I'd be happy to train a little with him.
Well, one of the guards tried to take him on and came back whipped like a dog, moaning like he'd been broken in two.
Well, sure. If he's that strong, I'm not surprised.
More like some trick he's got that our watch doesn't know. Or at least that's what the poor man said.
It's no wonder nobody wants anything to do with me. I look like a vagrant.
At least you're not walking around bare-assed. Although that might not be a sorry sight.
Ah, very funny. I'd rather you tell me where I might get some clothes.
And what do you have in mind? Brocade and satin,
A monk's robe, or perhaps Sir Brunswick's armour?
What armour are you talking about? Sir Brunswick?
Oh, nothing. It's just a local legend. They say a famous knight lived here who killed a ferocious lion and saved a many-headed dragon. Or the other way round. It doesn't matter. I don't even know.
And is the armour real?
Maybe. Maybe not. Geibel, the scribe, might know something about it. He has a lot of learned books. I don't know my letters.
I could use some armour. Proper, like, for a knight. And no rusty junk.
And you are like a knight?
Well, yeah. I don't look so good. But I swear I came here in armour, sword at my side, and on a horse.
Wow. And where is your armour, sword, and horse now?
That's a long story. And it's not a happy tale.
Well, you can hardly buy new armour now, but you might find something in the town hall armoury, although you'll need quick hands.
Thanks, but I'd rather get my clothes honestly. I just got out of the pillory. I don't want to end up there again.
Well, I'm not pushing you, just giving you a few useful tips. What you do with them is up to you.
I really need something to wear.
I can see that. Save up for something or use those lockpicks. Either way, I can't help you anymore.
I have no money. I might as well beg on the village green like you.
The hell you will. This is my turf. Here you go. I'll skip supper. It's partly your doing anyway.
Wow. I mean, thank you. Seriously.
Yeah, don't start crying. You'd better find some work quick.
Damn. I could use a horse. It'll take years to get to Semin on foot.
Don't exaggerate. This province is small.
Still, it would be faster with a horse.
There's a stud farm in Semin, renowned far and wide.
And which way is Semin?
Southwest from here, not too far. There's a road goes right there from the green. Just go down the hill. Once you see the walled farmhouse, you're there. Though I'll be a queen before you can afford a horse from Semin.
Do you know where I might find accommodation?
Betty in the tavern lets people sleep in the hay. But you have to pay.
I'm not going near that tavern. I'd catch hell again. Got any other ideas?
If you find some work, maybe you'll get a place to sleep too.
My main concern is getting to that wedding in Semin. Do you know anything about that celebration?
Well, yeah. People are talking of nothing else. The Lord's son is getting married to the sister of that lout you was fighting with.
How much time do you think I have? Have the preparations already begun?
From what I hear, the bride's dress still ain't finished and blacksmith Radovan still ain't started smithing the gift for the groom. So, no rush.
Hopefully by then I'll find a way to sneak in. Oh well. It was nice to meet you, but I should probably get going. Get a job, and so on.
Don't worry, you'll manage. Till we meet again.
Greetings.
What's new in the county, Master Bailiff?
I heard something's going on in Takoff again. Project the Innkeeper is probably coming up with some mischief to pull on the Zelievites. Will they never cut it out? Their bickering is making work for me.
And now I've been visited by one of the local peasants.
He said he found more fresh graves behind his field,
Just below the village, along the road to Nabokov.
What do you mean, more? You sound like this isn't the first time.
That we found someone buried here? Don't even ask. I've been digging up bodies ever since that bandit gang started running rampant.
Most of them are von Burgo's men. Also, if it wasn't bad enough that gang of bandits is rampaging through the region, now someone's stealing cabbage from the peasants. What a disaster.
Cabbage?
Aye, and the peasants won't stop bugging me about it. I was just visited by a peasant from Jadar. He's been talking my ears off for God knows how long. Say, do I really have to do this? Do I have the time to look for some moron stealing cabbages? And that's about it?
That sounds interesting. Thank you. What's new in the county, Master Bailiff?
I was just visited by one of the local peasants. He said he found more fresh graves behind his field, just below the village, along the road to Nabokov.
What do you mean, more? You sound like this isn't the first time.
That we found someone buried here? Don't even ask. I've been digging up bodies ever since that bandit gang started running rampant. Most of them are von Burgo's men.
How can I help you this fine morning?
I met the local beggar. Barrow was her name.
She's here again? Oh, confound it. But we'll get rid of her somehow, you'll see.
What? But
You didn't give her any money, I hope? Rabble like that are like stray cats. Feed them once, and you'll never get rid of them.
No, she just told me you might know where I could get some armor.
Armor? Unless you want to join the local watch, I don't think I can help you. Unless maybe Radovan, the blacksmith from Takov. We might sell you something.
But Barrow told me you might know of something better. The armor of some Brunswick?
Oh, that, lad, 'tis but a legend.
What legend?
It's hard to explain. There are actually 2 legends, or even 3. Well, it doesn't really matter. Why are you so interested anyway? Fine armor like that belongs in the hands of a knight.
Oh, come now. Surely you're not going to keep that legend to yourself. Do a fellow scholar a service.
Youngster, being able to piss your name in the snow doesn't make a scholar out of you.
I beg your pardon?
All right. No need to lose your temper. I'll tell you. In short, they say the armor of ancient Bohemian Prince Brunswick is hidden here, waiting for some valiant knight to find it. I don't believe it, of course. After all, I'm educated. But you'd be surprised how many fools have set off to find it.
Who exactly was this Brunswick?
You don't know, lad? Educate yourself. Brunswick was a famous Czech prince who won the lion for our country's coat of arms.
Really? How is it that I've never heard of him?
Perhaps because he never existed. Prince Vladislav II got the lion for our coat of arms for helping Emperor Frederick I, known as Redbeard.
But you just said that...
Brunswick is just a legend, but a quite lovely one, I'll give you that.
Could you recount for me the legend of Brunswick?
Well, why not? Brunswick was a valiant Bohemian prince. He lived in a time when our country had an eagle on its coat of arms, but that wasn't good enough for him. So he decided to head out into the world and gain the mark of a more powerful animal.
A man after my own heart.
You may think so, but his wife was none too happy. Her name was Ludmilla, and she begged Brunswick 100 times to stay home, but he just couldn't be persuaded. Still, he loved her very much, so he took her ring and told her that unless someone came and showed her that ring during the next 7 years, she should wait for his return. But if he failed to return after 7 years, that would mean he would never return.
And what happened next?
Brunswick's party set out to sea, but didn't get far. They were drawn in by an island with a mysterious mountain of amber that holds all ships and prevents them from leaving. Over time, the men on the deserted island died of starvation, leaving only Brunswick, who noticed that once a year a great bird called Noh came to the island to hunt. And so the clever knight hid in his horse's hide at just the right time. And when the bird came, it mistook him for prey and carried him away. So Brunswick wandered on. After some time on the road, the prince came across something unprecedented. A duel between a lion and a 9-headed dragon. So, what do you think Brunswick did at that moment?
Well, considering what he later added to the coat of arms, I expect he helped the lion, eh?
Smart. Brunswick rushed to help the lion, and together they killed the dragon. And from that time on, they were stalwart companions. The lion even followed him all the way back to Bohemia. Except, by then, it was already too late. It had already been exactly 7 years to the day since Brunswick set off on his journey. His wife, Ludmilla, who had until that time valiantly resisted all suitors, was about to remarry. But at the wedding feast, Brunswick managed to drop the ring in her cup, so it all turned out well. For Brunswick, that is. Not so for Ludmilla's new groom, but the lion took care of that.
Where did Brunswick's armour come from?
It is said that George the Lion of Württemberg brought it here. He was the nephew of Lord Chenyak of Württemberg, who built Trusky. This George spent a lot of time with King Wenceslas. A suspiciously long amount of time, if you know what I mean.
I think I get the picture.
And it is said that one day, a lion escaped from the king's menagerie, and George overpowered it with his bare hands and laid it at the king's feet, still alive. As a reward, Wenceslas gave young Württemberg the name Lion and the armour of his ancestor, Prince Brunswick. Only Sir George didn't live to enjoy it for long. He caught the plague at a tournament abroad, and died on his way back to his king. Specifically, while visiting his uncle here at Trusky. Of course, the king wanted his armour back, but Lord Chenyak didn't want to give it to him, claiming he had the hereditary right to it. It looked like Wenceslas would lay siege to Trusky, but fortunately Lord Chenyak was completely destitute by then, so he sold all of Trusky and the armour to the king.
Chenyak was broke. How come?
Because of building his castle. Trusky may be impressive, but it's too expensive for a nobleman. Even the king had difficulty paying for such a castle.
Well, if the king was so endeared with Brunswick's armour, why did he leave it here?
Because he didn't have any choice, my friend. He never found the armour. Lord Chenyak was as cunning as a fox. While he did leave the armour here, he never told anyone where. It's said he hid it so it could only be found by a true knight. Each piece in a different place. Or so they say round these parts. Who knows if there's any truth to the tale?
And do you know where I could find Brunswick's armour?
Yes, lad, if it even really exists. But I do have a little bit of advice for you. Sir Chenyak, who they say hid the armour, left behind a riddle. It's a test that must be passed by whoever wants to find it. Do you want to hear it?
And how did that riddle go?
Wait, how was it? I've got it. Take your leave of crone and maiden, standing tall behind the gates. Boldly go towards true midnight. In caverns cold your prize awaits. Pass through the all of forest kings, hidden deep from hunter's gaze. Standing tall, 2 guards of stone, behind whom yearned for treasure lays. Between them stands a mighty rock, a subtle niche, yet deeper still, a place to give one's art to God. Behold, my armour gleaming still.
The crone and the maiden towards midnight. We've got east, west, midday, midnight. Bloody hell! I think I know where it is.
Really? Well, seems you've got something between your ears then, lad. And you know what? I've got something else for you. Sir George, who previously owned the armour, wanted to have a nice poleaxe made in Prague too, but he died of the plague before he could do it. I'm not too certain about Brunswick and his armour, but this is certainly true, because I have a copy of George's order here. Here, take it, as a keepsake. And now, go.
Praise the Lord.
God bless you.
Keep the peace, and we won't have any problems.
Cheers. I hope you have an uneventful shift.
Welcome. You can buy everything you need from me, but excuse the selection. A few days ago, when I was returning with new goods, the horse got spooked and my wagon tipped into the pond. I salvaged some things, but the rest is now in the pond.
And where did the wagon tip?
On the roads near the Catchup Pond, beyond Jelioff. You can still find it there. I can't tell you how much it still pisses me off. But what can I do?
Sorry to hear that.
Me too. But what can I do? So, what will it be?
I wanted to ask you, what's on the other side of that nearest hill? I'm not from here, and I'd like to get my bearings. You look like a merchant to me, so you probably know best.
Ja, natürlich, you're not from here. Everyone around here knows that, after what happened in Betty's Tavern. Aber das ist deine Sache. That is your business, lad. Also, what do you want to know?
Where can I find a church round here? I'm surprised you don't even have a small chapel in the village.
If you want. Die Rettung deiner Seele, junger Mann. You have to go through the forest to Aujetz and to St. Catherine. Herr von Berger does have a chapel in his castle, but it's not for commoners like you. We do not go there either. Und warum auch? The gravedigger Ignatius takes care of burials outside the village, and weddings usually take place without a local priest. No one wants to pay the church more than they have to. Das ist ja wohl klar.
Can I find other merchants around here?
Zum Glück nicht, junger Mann. I'm the only merchant here around Trusky. Oh, natürlich. There are plenty of tradesmen here who sell their goods. There is Bartosz, the tailor. He lives at the other end of the village. The apothecary, Emmerich, lives across from me. They are hand in glove, or more like hat in hat.
What do you mean by that?
Nichts weiter. Just that they play at being educated men. Along with the scribe Geibel, they are always studying some Latin tracts. But of the three, perhaps only Geibel knows Latin, if he really does at all.
Is there anyone else here?
Oh yeah. Beyond the tailor's house on the edge of the village is where Bashka the butcher lives. Opposite the Rathaus is the carpenter. The rest of the villagers are just peasants, and you are already familiar with the tavern.
Where do you go for wares? What's the closest town?
The closest is Sobotka, the biggest Gichin, what you call Gichin. And farther north there is Turnov. Half of that one belongs to Herr von Bergo.
Is it far?
Das kommt darauf an. It takes all day on foot. Wenn du was brauchst, the goods I have here will have to do you. I do not think you will get to the town anytime soon.
Is there anything I should avoid around here?
Certainly. Stirring up trouble and sticking your nose into other people's business. Here in the village, we don't care much for outsiders. If any do come, they better behave.
I understand that, but we were ambushed by bandits. So I wanted to ask if you know anything about that.
Ach so, ich verstehe. The woods have been full of all manner of rebel recently. That is all because of the war. Verdammte Schurken.
So you've already heard about these bandits?
About those ones in particular, or about others? They are all just gleichen Scheißkerle. Every time I go to the town, the bailiff must send an armed escort with me. It makes life difficult.
So the roads aren't safe?
Ja, das kann man wohl sagen. Herr von Bergo should do something about it at last. But Herr Otto spends more time in Prague than here, and Chamberlain Ulrich... Ach, lassen wir das.
I'll have a look at the wares. I'd like to do something about that price.
Gut, versuchen wir's.
How's this?
Well, if you offer a little bit more, we can make a deal.
What would you say to this?
That's more like it. Just a bit more and we can shake hands. Why? You'll convince me with that price? Das Geschäft. Auf Wiedersehen.
Keep the peace, and we won't have any problems.
Have you come to break some more stuff? If you want something, wait till I've stopped being angry.
Are you blind?
Don't cause any trouble. Got it?
God be with you. How's the watch going?
Not bad. So far.
What do you want here, you scoundrel? Why'd you barge in here?
I'd like to compete at archery.
Your first time, eh? I don't remember your face from any previous contests. What's it to be? Longbow or crossbow?
Bow, I reckon.
All right, I'll get everything ready and find some fellas. But first, you need something to shoot from. Come back when you're ready. Arrows I can give you, but I want to see you carrying a bow. Got it?
What happened to you?
I'm in big trouble.
How so?
I lost a letter. A very important letter. I was supposed to deliver it to my master by tonight.
What was in the letter?
I have no idea what it said. For one thing, it was a secret, and for another, I can't read. But it was my master's beloved who sent it. That's why it was so important.
Oh, so it could just as easily have been a lewd verse.
I don't really care what was in it. The point is, I don't have it.
Would you like me to help you look for it?
There's no point now. I've been on the road for 2 days as it is. We'll never make it by tonight.
Do you know where you might have lost it?
I haven't the faintest idea. It must have slipped out somewhere along the way.
You should have been more careful with it. Losing the one thing you're supposed to deliver.
I know. So I forgot to check my bag this morning, all right? But now it's gone, and I'm fucked.
I have to be going. I hope you find the letter.
Me too. Because if I don't, I'm in for a lashing.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Wait! I have an idea. Punch me in the face.
What?
Smack me in the gob. I'll say I was ambushed on the way and they took the letter.
I'm sorry, but I have no intention of pummeling you for no reason. There must be other ways of resolving this.
Suit yourself, if you don't want to help your fellow man.
Ale. What do you need, my friend?
Do you live here all alone? In a wilderness like this?
What wilderness? Walk a few paces and you come to a bloody great castle. And I'm not really alone. Animals are company too.
I understand. I prefer being on my own as well.
But don't think I'm a hermit. People sometimes come to get ointments or herbs, and I'm glad to see them. But greeting neighbors and listening to gossip every day? I'd rather not, thanks. It's true, I don't always sleep easy here. The castle may as well not be there for all the protection it gives me. You get strange people wandering around from time to time. The kind best avoided by honest folk. My advice to you is to be careful. I recently saw 2 vagabonds like that. No doubt they don't think I'm worth the effort. But I still lock the door every night and push a bench up against it.
Where exactly did you come across them?
In the rocks above my cottage. Be careful if you go there.
Mighty rock between the sandstone guards. That fits. But what does give one's heart to God mean? Is this really it? A piece of Brunswick's armor? And what's this? A piece of parchment?
Blessings to you. What do you want, you yokel? But make it quick.
Do you live here all alone? In a wilderness like this?
What wilderness? Walking on a...
I understand.
But it's true. He gets my... No,
Where
in the...
Pass through the Hall of Forest Kings, hidden deep from hunters' gaze. That could be this deer hunting ground. 2 sandstone guards, just like in Gable's Rhyme. A mighty rock between the sandstone guards. That fits. But what does give one's heart to God mean? Is this really it? A piece of Brunswick's armor? And what's this? A piece of parchment?